The entire skating world is frozen, caught in a suffocating limbo of pure electricity and sheer terror. An eerie silence has gripped the arena. The heavy, pregnant pause that comes right before a massive disaster. The heart of this shockwave is the 2026 Milan Winter Games, where the ice becomes a scorched battlefield. At the center of the storm stands Ilia Malinin, the American phenom who has already grabbed the world title twice. Just whispering his name gives a cold sweat to any rival crazy enough to challenge him for the gold. When the technical sheets dropped, they revealed a plan so bold it left the seasoned veterans gasping for air. Malinin is not just competing. He is wielding a routine so packed, it basically tells the laws of physics to get lost. He is crushing human limits, turning the whole sport into a display of otherworldly, alien skill. This is no ordinary skate. It is high-altitude aerial combat staged in the thin air of the Alps. Before the rebellion, there was a plan drafted in the intense, high-pressure war rooms of Team USA. The order was simple: play it safe, grab the gold medal without blowing out a knee. His planned routine featured the quad flip and the legendary quad axel, a jump called impossible for 100 years. Throw in a quad lutz and a quad loop, with rotations spinning fast enough to blur reality itself. The kid is ready with brutal combos like the quad lutz triple flip, delivered with absolute surgical violence. But for the Italian stage, Roman and Tatiana urged restraint, clean skating over risky gambles. Ilia, Roman whispered in the quiet of the locker room, staying upright wins gold. We do not need the seventh monster jump. We just need the winner. Tatiana stared him down, the hallway lights reflecting in her eyes. Do not chase ghosts. Conquer the ice under your feet. They felt the massive weight of the Olympic rings pressing down on his teenage body like lead weights. Analysts were already putting his name on the trophy using a safer version of his routine. But safe is not in Malinin's DNA. His spirit is forged in the fire of chaos. The pressure spiked when a red-tape nightmare stripped away his entire support team at the 11th hour. Rafael Arutunin, the mastermind behind his rise, was banned from the area right next to the ice. A massive paperwork mistake with the U.S. delegation meant the legendary coach was stopped cold by security. Offered a regular seat like a fan, Arutunin turned it down with icy dignity. He was forced to watch from afar, unable to give one last tip or a calming touch. Complete meltdown, commentators buzzed as cameras found Ilia alone in the warm-up area. Stranded in a storm of red tape, Malinin faced a gauntlet that grew scarier by the second. He stood in the tunnel, Artunian's absence feeling deafening against the roar of 20,000 fans. The cold bit deep, but for Ilia, chasing immortality was never a lonely walk on frozen ice. Underneath the math and points, a family fire burns in his blood. He does not skate for fame. His skates hit the ice with the weight of a family dream. Son of two Olympians. The rink was never just a job. It was his home, his sanctuary. The Malinin way is not about praise. It is built in the freezing Virginia darkness. While the suburbs slept in the mist, the family moved with the precision of a special forces unit. It shows in Roman's scarred hands, sharpening steel under a dim garage light at 3 in the morning. Every stroke of that stone made sure his son had the edge to survive a brutal quad landing. It shines in Tatiana's steel gaze, a queen who knows the view from the top. She taught him their family does not count the falls. They only count the times they get back up. As his cinematic music filled the air, a switch flipped in Ilia's soul. Right here, the safe story burns away. Here, the myth swallows the man whole. He looked into the dark, remembering late-night film study and the crayon drawings from his sister. Those small pieces of love became the foundation he needed to jump over the ghosts haunting the ice. He pictured Yuma Kagayama, the Japanese master who just delivered a skate that was more poetry than sport. Yuma did not just move. He practically floated, creating a performance so smooth it belonged in an art gallery. His rival raised the bar so high that playing it safe meant a one-way ticket to silver. Ilia knew that playing by the book would not make him a legend. So, he threw the game plan away and went rogue in a heartbeat. What truly shocked the room was that insane quad salo triple axel combo, thrown out like a casual warm-up drill. Then the real shocker. He added a rogue quad lutz triple loop late in the routine, totally off script and without warning. A total vacuum of silence pulled the air from the room as Tatiana gripped the rail, her heart pounding against her ribs. He became a human tornado, spinning with enough force to crack the very ice beneath his blades. He wasn't out there alone. He skated with the ghosts of his ancestors, each rotation a fierce tribute to their struggle. The arena air crackled with pure electricity. The pressure was thick, fueled by the guts of a boy who simply refused to stay on the ground. That jump was a middle finger to the critics and the judges who doubted he had the mental edge. Ugly rumors claimed a quad axel in this high-stakes moment would leave him in a broken heap on the ice. But Ilia silenced the crowd, landing with the grace of a bird on a wire. This was more than just a routine. It was an exorcism, erasing years of freezing Virginia mornings and lonely hours in empty skating rinks. He was paying back a debt of broken bones and bruises, honoring the quiet sacrifices his parents made to forge a champion. Destiny hit in those closing moments, a storm of steel and adrenaline fueled by nothing but sheer stubborn will. When the scores appeared and Team USA took gold, the stadium in Milan exploded into total wild chaos. The dam finally broke for Malinin, releasing a lifetime of buried stress and the scars of 1,000 battles. Wrapped in the stars and stripes, he pushed past the flashing cameras and reporters chasing a story. He didn't want the fame. His eyes searched only for that dark corner where his family waited in the shadows. Falling into a tight hug, the quad god persona vanished, leaving only a vulnerable young man behind. The gravity-defying superstar turned into a sobbing boy, burying his face in his mother's neck. "Forgive me," he whispered into her coat. "I had to do it. I had to take that leap for us. I couldn't stop." Tatiana didn't care about the scores. She just held him tighter, feeling the frantic, steady rhythm of her son's heartbeat. Roman stood right there, his rough hands a reminder of the hard work that kept his son grounded. Every tear was a payment for the thousands of hours spent shivering in those freezing ice rinks. All that work led to this. Then, in the middle of the madness, Ilia did something unexpected. Taking the heavy gold medal from his neck, he pressed it into his parents' shaking hands. "This is ours. I'd be nothing without you two." In that quiet, fragile moment, the skating titan vanished, leaving only a grateful son in his place. He was just the latest link in a legacy forged from sweat, blood, and the dreams of those before him. The world had to see that this wasn't just about a gold medal. This ribbon was made of countless sleepless nights and sacrifice. Behind the legendary champion stood a family with a backbone made of pure, unwavering devotion. Milan 2026 showed us that records eventually fade, but a parent's faith burns forever. As the arena lights dimmed, the ice legend disappeared, replaced by a young man returning to his own world. He broke the rules of physics and experts alike, all to honor the family that taught him how to fly. The Malinin story is about a boy who learned to fly in the dark and finally touched the sun in Italy. His rebellion wasn't against his family. It was a gift for them, turning their long struggle into a moment of history. He walked away, but the ghost of his skates remained, carving a memory into the ice that time itself can't erase.